kind of well. A little bit more familiar with it than, whatchamacallit.
What's your Twitch name?
I am pulling it up right now.
Perfecting your...
Yeah, I'm live.
I'm so glad my mic isn't picking up my chair squeaking every time I move.
A squeaky squeaky.
What's your Twitch name?
I am pulling it up right now.
Perfecting your...
Oh, it is picking up.
Yeah, I'm live.
I'm so glad my mic.
It is picking up, outside sources, though. I would have to fix that later.
Okay.
But for right now, it works, so...
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
I thought I just searched you up real quickly and just pulled you up.
Shake. Shake the child. Alright. Yo, what the fuck? I didn't even get the time to say that I was live. What the fuck?
Hi, Cage.
Damn, I didn't even get time to say shit. I look into Afterlife and, like, I didn't even get the chance to say I am live. Damn.
Damn, you
What
were just
the
like
fuck?
instant on that.
Chronically online? Yes, the fuck you are. Shit.
In a good way.
Yeah, no.
In a good way.
No, yeah, this is a good way. Get the fuck out of
I'm
here.
wondering if you just like decided to follow you or something.
Follow me home at this point. Damn, might as well buy me dinner.
I ship it. No, not really.
Bro. No, I can't compete with the castle. I really can't. Seen that man?
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
And you can't compete with Swift.
He has an ass. It's a Messy's first stream. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. And so great. Oh. Alright. You ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty. First time chatter. Hey, yo. Damn. Okay. Alright. So, no audio.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Damn. Alright. So, we begin this off with well, hold on. How about you tell us what your character looks like? Describe a little bit about your character. What does she do?
Well, she mainly does taste testing for a rich person's wife just to make sure no one's poisoned it. She is a small half elf standing no taller than like 5'2", 5'4" on a good day, with silver hair with splotches of dark green in it, pale skin, and vibrant blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, she would be walking down a corridor, just having finished doing a most recent tasting, heading towards her room to test out some new poisons that she got.
So you would think is what she would be doing, but in reality, she's walking down maybe open market. Young boy behind her, a half elf at best, is looking and reading through her diary openly and wide, as loud as he can through the open streets. no one's really paying attention to him. I mean, he's known to be a loudmouth within your ranks at the castle. And he's just reading it all out loud, and he doesn't skip a beat. He just says it in the most dramatic voice ever. He goes, "And then I slept in the bed. No, the so comfortable bed. Oh, jeez, kid. What the hell? This shit. It seems like a fan fiction at this point. What's wrong with this? Don't you hold any grudge against the people? I mean, they poison you almost daily."
Yes, but I like the poisons. I like to test them out and see what they do.
What you mean you like the you've spent 5 days. 5 days. Last week, 5 days. That's the mass majority of the days. You spent it in my bed. We share beds.
She'll get like a slight smile on her face, and like she'll reach her hand up and like touch her face. And she's like, "Ah, yes, that poison was quite extravagant.
He just gives you a
Too bad I couldn't taste more of it."
He gives you a dumbfounded look, and he just kind of just throws his hands in the air, still keeping clutched to the book. His very dirty brown hair just kind of swathes, barely swathes within the raising of his hands. He just kind of looks fed up with you at the very least. He just doesn't know what to do at this point. You've known him for a while. He's your roommate. Um, People at the castle don't really know a whole lot about elves. Nor do they care because right now, in the system of where you guys are, elves are pretty low in standard, common people at best, but they're right next to animal folk. Animal folk don't really have much rights either, but you as elves have a little bit more respect and actually are treated like humans than these animals. Um, he goes back to reading out loud your diary, and people just kind of brush him aside, actively shoulder checking him, and he's just not caring in the world. Um, the only thing that gets his attention is when somebody outwardly starts coughing. He stops in his tracks and he stares dead face at the person that is coughing. His eyes
Would
fill
I
with.
be able to see?
Would you be able to see the person
Would I be able to
coughing?
see like the cause of it, or like see what is ailing them?
That's a good question. How about you roll me a perception check?
Would that be a medicine?
Perception to see it, because I would say this is a very kind of
All
crowded.
right.
It's about lunchtime.
That would be an 18.
All right. Can you roll me medicine?
All right.
Medicine with disadvantage, given that you're not right next to the person that is coughing. You just hear
So
someone
that would be a
coughing.
dirty 20.
With disadvantage?
Yeah. If I went with my higher, it would be a 21. I rolled a 17 and a 16. I have a +4 to medicine.
That's fucking wild. So, from your perspective, you can automatically whip your head around to the exact pinpoint location of this individual. It's a rather older human. He's kind of looking in the rags, looks like a bum. He just coughs and wheezes, but from your knowing of your expertise of medicine and all that, poison and such, you can tell he has the plague. You you as a individual within this time would know that the plague is a very contagious, very viral, very deadly thing. You don't actually know what the virus is because in your time period, a virus could be anything from a devil's curse to anything like that. All you know is that once you get the plague, you might as well be quarantined or put to the stake. Um, everybody around the man is slowly backing away, if not running away at this point. You can see that boils of blue and green are starting to form on his skin, and he begins to get raspy in tone as he kind of just tries to cover his mouth as much as he can as blood begins to spew out. The boy next
Would
to you,
I be able to do anything to help him?
do you want to help
Like
him?
ease his suffering?
Do you want to help him?
Well, the question would be more, do I have anything immediately available, like on my person from the shopping or anything like that, that would be able to help?
Roll me just a straight D20.
Straight D20.
Mhm.
Alrighty. 3.
You have a loaf of bread.
I would, I guess, just go towards the nearest guard or whatever person who would be able to intervene
Guard?
and just be like, uh, whoever, like in this area, whoever would be of authority to deal with the man. If I can't help him, then I will just try to get someone to him to take him out of suffering.
The boy is looking at you as you are looking around, and he has the most profound, confused look on his face. What you doing? Hey, no, don't get. Where are you going? Have you been brain dead from your rotting in bed?
That is the plague. If he is allowed to continue going around here, he could spread it to everyone else and cause a massive outbreak. It would be best to find someone as soon as possible to deal with it to prevent any outbreaks and get this area cleansed.
You're cleansing? Do you realize that water around here? You've been brain dead at this point with the amount of poison you've ingested. He kind of just tucks away your diary and just pulls out his water skin thing that you guys carry around water, and you would realize at this point that water around your area is very scarce. It is almost hard to find water that is basically drinkable, if not edible, at some point. The water around here is just very toxic to you elves specifically. You are unsure if
Does
this.
purify food and drink work on it?
You can try, but
Yeah, I will.
you would have no idea if
Sorry,
this work.
continue.
Yeah, that's right. You would have no idea if this would work on a plague victim or not. But you have tried it in the past with yourself.
Well, if I don't have anything directly that could help them, then I'm just gonna find people who either can or basically clean the area and sterilize it and quarantine it.
Hmm. Do you relay this back to the
So that
boy?
I would say, yeah, help me look for someone who
Look,
can do these things.
look for somebody. I probably am like the most capable person here. He points to a little badge he has on himself that says castle duty cleaner, and it's kind of just really dusty, it's kind of rusty and all that, and he kind of brandishes it a little bit, kind of like he uh he kind of just looks at you and just really confused look on where to go from here.
The people we need are people who are more knowledgeable as how to deal with these things and make sure that they don't continue to spread. Your cleanliness is still very clean, but it's not to the degree that would require for this care.
What you mean? I have the best quality cleaning in all of the city. I swear. I mean, come on, just look around. And he kind of just gestures around, and you can come to realize that you, Doreen, would be able to tell that this is a very medieval esque environment you're in. More like leaning towards very Roman Roman civilization slash medieval dark plague, black plague era where things aren't really clean. They're kind of out there, but there are very few things that show that there are progressions throughout the entire kingdom, but none of them are towards cleanliness so far.
Damn. Hmm.
He kind of just like he begins to scoop up some of the water that fell out. He scoops up some water that formed into a puddle from last night's rain, and he kind of hands it over to you. Gestures for you to take it, and he's just kind of like, I mean, purify the stuff. You're really good at that.
I say first let's deal with the plague victim and make sure he's not within the vicinity anymore.
You
Before we try to get any water or anything else like that. If we don't deal with the source, then it'll keep coming.
so is he the source of the plague? Are you saying this guy made the plague? And
I'm not saying he made it, but right now he is a carrier that can bring it more. So right now he is a type of source.
he's a rat. And he kind of just brandishes out a very old kind of rustic dagger.
I'm just like full on face and palm. Just like looking for something I can use to just deal with the man at this point and get him. I would poison. No, I don't want to do poison spray. That would be gruesome.
With your dirty 20, you could tell that once people start getting the symptoms of the plague, they usually expire within 48 hours. From the looks of it, he's had the plague for over 24 and probably doesn't have much longer to live.
Could I use poison spray at that? No, because it's a toxic mist. I was gonna say if I could use it more like an acid almost, like to hopefully kill off any of the remaining virus that the guy might have after he dies.
Yeah, you can try.
Okay, would I need to roll anything?
Roll to see if you are able to hit. If you do,
Okay.
we will go from there.
That would be a 13.
Given that this guy is already prone on the floor at this point, coughing and wheezing, yeah, that hits.
Okay.
So, how would you describe going up to this man and spraying acid on him?
I would wrap my face in some sort of cloth, just like you know how like in Apothecary Diaries, whenever there was an illness they were dealing with, they would have like that cloth mask over their face.
Oh, so basically a plague doctor.
Kinda, yeah. I would put that over my face. I would put something over my hand so I'm not having direct contact with him. And I would just basically put a finger like towards him in his direction and like at his face level. Do it first to give him the quickest death I can with this spell, and then just slowly, just like while doing this at the same time, putting my hand over his like the body and the area he's in, just causing this mist to hopefully basically be a sterile agent.
Mm. You are able to do that, and the man grabs at you. hard. He grabs you tightly with his both meaty, bulging fingers as things, welches, bumps, huge bumps, just like swell and swarm within under your skin and everything like that. He looks you in the eyes as you proceed to spray on acid at him. He looks confused. He looks hurt. He looks desperate. But overall, he looks like he's content with how he was handled in the end. And as his body begins to fizzle into a very mucus like red goo onto the ground, people around you begin to look at you in shock and horror. Nobody has seen something like that before.
You said he like transferred the plague onto my hand.
He grabbed you by your arms as tight as he could, almost like trying to beg for mercy.
Okay, so but I do not have it, right? Like the plague. He didn't transfer that over to me.
You do not have plague. Or so you know.
Okay. Okay. Then like as soon as that's done, I will basically like do a prayer for him, and then I will cast purify food and drink as like a way to purify the remaining liquid, not to make it drinkable, but hopefully to make it non-toxic for anyone who tries to deal with it.
You're 80% sure someone's gonna come around and try to drink the red substance, even if it
I'm going to
wasn't
be putting
purified.
dirt over it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I'm purifying it, and I'm going to be covering it in dirt, but it's just like more as a way to make sure that area hopefully doesn't have anything left in it.
So as you are covering the remains with dirt, a couple of other elves, and half elves come up to you. Their looks vary between range of age and mix of species of what their elf parent probably fornicated with. There's one that looks kind of sea-like, sea creature. You wouldn't be able to tell what kind of creature. There's another that has spines on its back, but otherwise, they they look half elf, but still enough to be considered low downgrade half elves. They come to you and they just kind of
Yeah, before they get
go on.
like too close, I would hold up like a hand and be like, "Just keep your distance." Why did I go Scottish?
Do you always do this?
I don't know why.
At this
Keep your
point,
distance. He managed to touch me, and I don't know if he transfers it over to me fully or if at all. I don't want to get you guys sick.
mm, so the moment you say that he may have transferred, they put their hands in the air and they automatically step like 5 feet back and they're like, giving you
I
nasty
will
looks.
quarantine myself and make sure I'm thoroughly washed. And if you see me again, then that will mean that I am safe.
They don't
For the
re-
time being,
they don't really
make
go
sure
through
no
your
one gets into this
uniform.
area for a few hours.
The moment you say plague, everybody's already running again. They don't want anything to do with this plague at all. The only person that has remained is the kid that is basically your probably your roommate. You can't really recall off the top of your head because of all the poison you ingested. But he kind of just he has his distance, but he seems like he's thinking about something.
You might want to see if you can stay with any of the other servants for a little bit until we are certain that I'm safe to be around.
You son of a bitch. I can't. He just kind of like tosses your book onto the ground. I, what did you mean? We're gonna have to burn my bed. You're gonna, I mean, come on. I spent money on that.
Then move your bed out before I get in there.
It's too. I don't know how
Simple
this.
as that. Don't we have a half orc as as one of the servants?
Yeah, but
He can help lift it.
I don't want to ask that dude. He's twice my size.
What, you have a crush on him?
His ears perk up and he gets a more straighter face. And he says, "I do not like that man. I do not. Wait, what made you think that?"
Oh, your mannerisms. And she'll like pick up her book and start walking to like a watering hole or something that like she could safely, like, not where people get water from to drink, but more like maybe to bathe or something, and like start trying to scrub her arm until it's like red.
Can you make me a perception check?
Alrighty. Perception 21.
Okay. You see a couple of people staring at you. Somebody has their eyes on you and they seem like they're extremely interested in what you just did. But you can't tell who, for there are many eyes staring at you in this watering hole. All keeping their distance, though.
Yeah. I'd find like a more secluded area too before I start bathing, just so I don't have anyone watching me while I bathe and make sure I'm clean.
There's a couple of naked.
I will send
There's a couple of naked
my
people.
roommate back to.
There are a couple of naked people no matter where you go, and they just kind of like they look at you,
Yeah.
look at whatever they're using. You look at the like makeshift washcloth they have, and then look at the bar of soap that they split between them, and just shuffle away. Obvious, very
I'll,
obviously
I'll
very
just
awkward.
shrug and be like, yeah. I'll just like shrug and just like start using the water to clean myself off and like put my clothing in a pile to be burned
Hmm.
and send my roommate off to get me another change of clothing to leave
Hmm.
several feet away from the clothing that I'm going to be burning,
He kind of
which would hopefully be like my green dress.
so he kind of just stares at the dress and he gets like a rock and pokes it and he kind of just goes like, "You want me to burn, you want me to handle with it? Why am I don't want to touch it."
I will be burning it. I just want you to head back to the castle and get me a new set of clothing. So that way I can not be walking around town with my titties out.
At this point, I've seen so many titties at this point. They're everywhere. Women are breastfeeding like crazy nowadays. You could just say that your baby's gone, or I don't think anybody cares. And as you two
I
are
think people would
bickering,
care if a naked elf is walking through town.
I've seen fish people with titties. I don't even know why they have titties. It's insane. And as you guys are talking, you just see dog animal hybrid of a half elf, what looks like a quarter human, but a large mass majority of it is a animal like humanoid, just walking around with six big big titties out. Obviously naked. You're not sure who permitted this one to come out here.
Would I recognize this person, or are they just a stranger?
They are absolutely a stranger, but you can see that somebody is trying to walk alongside them, and it's not working out well.
Like, are they drowning? Are they just
They're,
having issues?
she seems to be coming towards you because she sees the commotion that you two are bickering about.
I'll like hold up my hand and be like before she gets too close, be like, I am terribly sorry. I came in to contact with some disgusting substance. I'd rather not get it on anyone else, as it could cause someone to get quite sick. And
She
I don't want anyone to get sick while I'm washing off.
she freezes when you start speaking directly to her. She doesn't miss a beat and seems to redirect herself away from you, but you can tell with your 21 that she is still watching you. Um,
Guy.
your roommate just kind of just somehow picked up your clothing with the rock and has tossed
I
it.
didn't want him to pick up the clothing. I've actively told him not to touch it.
he has
Why is he still messing with it? I just told him to go to the castle and bring me clothing.
he has tossed it into the water with you and has proceeded to flip you off the bird and toss your book yet again on the ground and is going in the direction of of the castle.
Well, now this is gonna be a pain to burn. I should probably ask the master to make sure people are boiling water for the next few weeks to a month.
So as you are bathing yourself, you can't help but shake off the feeling that that woman is still staring at you. She seems interested in talking, but she doesn't know where to begin. But she has at this point decided to wash her arms and legs at the very best. From what you can tell, she seems to be mostly hidden behind clothing, but from what you can tell, just by her arms and her legs, there are stripes on them. Most likely some kind of animal at best. She doesn't,
How far away would you say she is?
I would say, a good 20 feet away, far enough away so she cannot be associated with you at the very least by passersby, but close enough to keep an eye on you without anybody trying to like block her vision.
I'm gonna use message and basically say to her, "May I ask why you were staring at me?"
She tenses up and stops bathing her legs without any soap, and she turns to you. You can tell that she has a few stripes on her face, but not anything really recognizable. Probably, definitely an animal at this point. She seems curious about you, at the very least. She folds back her ear. Well, at this point, you would know it's ears, as her hood seems to fold and sway a bit. She folds them back and just kind of steadies you, a bit confused. How did you do that?
Do what?
That that thing? Did you do that?
Are you talking about me cleaning up after the man?
That too. I saw that. I didn't see it, and she kind of lowers her head. I didn't see that at all. This is not very. I mean, people don't around here. They don't really do that kind of stuff. They just kind of run and scream. But you kind of. She gestures towards you. You kind of did the opposite.
My father was a doctor who studied a lot of medicine.
Doctor,
And uh before I became a servant to the master as a taste tester, he was training me to be able to take his place someday. He is quite phenomenal of a doctor, if I don't say so myself.
her ears perk up a little bit, raising slightly, just ever so slightly a bit when she mentioned the word doctor. Like those people in the towers. I see them. Well, no, I don't see them. And she and she lowers her head again. Uh, at this point, she's kind of grasping onto the sides and shoulders of her arms and just kind of awkwardly just shuffling them up and down. Well, I mean, I see them. Oh no, 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 I don't see them. I hear about them. They do things like magic, right?
A little bit of magic, but it's more healing and helping people.
I I I would like to learn magic. Well, that the healing magic. I would like to learn it if that's all right. I don't know a whole lot myself, but and she kind of perks up her head a little bit. I've never gotten sick in my life. I think that's a plus, and everybody seems around me is just terrified of this plague. I don't understand it really, but I've been around a lot of people that have been sick. I just don't get it.
Plagues are a very trickle thing, unfortunately.
I
But I can at least help you with some of the knowledge my father has given me. Now, for spells, that does depend on your. Actually, out of like to you directly, Orzi,
mm,
with magic in this world, is it dependent on like the person's ability to cast it, or is it like anyone can learn any type of magic without restrictions, just as long as they have the quote unquote class for it?
if they have the knowledge from their class, they can do the magic. Um, However, if they are in that class and they don't have prior knowledge about it, they would not know how to do it. They can.
Well, I guess the way I wanted to phrase like ask was, uh, are certain people more able to learn like say healing magic uh than say like attack magic or vice versa? Like in like some stories that involve magic, there are certain people with affinities to this or that.
Not in this particular standpoint. People tend to, well, certain, okay, so certain classes can be learned. They are not always taught. Or and some people can
Okay,
inherit, some people
I
can just
could
inherit
teach this person
classes.
healing magic,
You can. You can.
even though technically I don't. I can. I do have some that I can prepare, but overall, I just have things that would be more like what a taster would have prepared right now. But yeah, I could. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I can do that before I like with the world knowledge because my character I feel like would know this with her being in this world. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can teach you, but it will be difficult
I'm willing to
as medicine
learn.
is a very tricky. Okay,
Oh, great.
a key thing. Oh yeah, ban that person.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I probably should get. Yeah, I'm getting on it. I didn't even have stream up really.
Yeah,
Um,
it's yeah. I have it pulled up on
yeah.
like I swap between the two tabs for my character sheet in the stream.
Yep. I'm getting on there. Da, 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 da.
Alrighty.
I wish I knew shit. Yeah, I'm getting on it.
Uh,
I didn't even have
looks like my
stream up.
Discord is being screwy. I'll give me.
Yep. Alright. How do I do that?
There we go. Fix it.
Oh,
Literally just a second. I think because it was like giving me a delay because I kept accidentally speaking over you a lot.
probably. I am
Because I
trying.
noticed like I'll start saying something and then with a delay. Yeah. Uh, with the person, let's see. I don't have. You should be able to just like click on their name and click ban
Oh, should it?
on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be
Yeah, I see
like
it.
if you open
Thank you.
twitch.com, you should be able to.
I got it.
Just be careful that you have your tab muted. Is
I
what I'm
do.
saying. Because
Yeah,
it will just, yeah.
I got it.
Because I've had that happen before where it just looped indefinitely. It was
Really?
funny for a second, but still.
Oh my god.
Yeah, on my, like when I was doing a stream once. Yeah. Uh, back to the thing. So yeah. So she responded with like she is willing to learn.
She kind of looks up shocked that you are willing to teach her. She doesn't seem to know what to really say in the moment. However, she seems happy at the very best. You can see that from underneath her cloak, there is a tail that is slightly raised, a little higher than what was previously thought, to the point where you can actually tell there's a tail. There's a bright smile on her face,
Alrighty.
and she for the first time looks like she is young. If not anything, she looks extremely young. Probably around this era, probably middle age, but to us, in the modern age, 2020, what 2020 something something, she looks young.
Oh, so she would be older than my character because I think at this point my character should be 19 or 18.
I was about to say she's about 22, like around that era, which
Yeah. So
given
between like IRL new ages.
yeah, I was about to say because around this time of age, 22 is considered middle age. I mean, come on, their health system is shit.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
she looks quite happy, and she is wanting to get a little closer. You can tell that she's trying to edge closer.
Please still stay back. First lesson. Plagues are very contagious, so if you've come into contact with someone with it, it is best to thoroughly wash yourself and then at least quarantine for a few days to make sure you don't transfer to anyone else and you yourself do not have it.
She immediately stops in her place and she goes stiff. Her back, which was arching near you, goes completely rigid and she straightens up her back and backs away a bit. She seems concentrated on pleasing you at the very least.
You don't need to worry about getting on my bad side or anything like that. You want to learn how to help people, I will help you learn that. I just want to make sure we are being safe while doing it, even though I have tendencies that some may consider not safe.
She doesn't seem unfazed by this. She just seems like she is still smiling. She is rather just happy. She just nods her head and lowers her head to the ground in a bowing stance as she spreads out her arms towards you. Um, I sure hope you can teach me a lot, um, Master.
Feel free to call me Sune.
Sune?
Yes, as that is my name.
Master Sune.
Just Sune.
Just Sune, Master. And you can see that her tail is wagging a bit, almost as if she was playing at this point.
I will use Mage Hand to just like ruffle her hair a little bit. Like you just see like transparent little elf hand just like start ruffling her hair.
So the moment the hand lands, lands and starts ruffling her hair, that which is still underneath her hood, she perks up immediately and twists around, eyes wide as the moon, as she just kind of leans into the mage hand at this point when she realizes what it is. Happy and content, and shocked and surprised, all littered within her face and her movements, as the mage hand dissipates and leaves you two alone.
May I ask what your name is?
My name? Um,
Yes.
I don't. What word? She seems confused about the meaning of this. Can you
What do
roll?
people tend to call you when they refer to you? Oh, sorry.
No, it's alright. Can you roll me a history check?
History, alright.
This will
That would
determine.
be a 15.
I was about to say this will determine how much you know about the beast creatures. Given that this is a area where you two are considered the lowest of the tiers. But from a 15, you know a moderate amount. About, I would say, a little bit more than normal people, given that you may have worked closely with some in the past. You know, beast people or animal people. There's a lot of names that they go around telling people they are. From what you understand, they are foreigners from a world that has collapsed. They do not talk about it very often, so you do not know where exactly they come from, other than it is no more. Beast animals seem to take a lot of appearance as well as traits from their animals, of course. The animals they favor. On top of that, they seem to have a similar uh, dietary needs as their animals that they seem to look like. Um, they, because they are foreigners, some of them do not know common very well, while some are trying to learn, others are trying to repopulate so their children can teach them. It seems like from the looks of it that this animal creature, humanoid, whatever you may want to call it, she doesn't seem like she knows English or common very well.
So, I have a question for you because this was something that, like, with my character, like, to also for their character art.
Hmm.
Uh, would my character know this language because of their heritage?
What is their heritage? Being an elf?
They're half elf, but you were also saying like half elves could be a combination of other races, like uh, as well.
Yes. Given that,
Yeah.
what would you say your father was? Because you said that he was a high
Uh,
ranking person.
well, he was
Hmm.
uh at one point, and then he lost that status.
Hmm.
And they aren't related by blood. I am going with some more Apothecary Diaries for the background,
It's so sad. I haven't
as that
watched
is an
that.
inspiration for the character I am.
I have not watched that.
So, spoilers for anyone who has not watched Apothecary Diaries. Not a massive, massive one, but it is a slight one for Mao Mao and her father's relationship. Mao Mao was adopted, or like her father and her are not directly related.
Ah,
That was like the same that I was thinking for Sune and her father. They are more like adopted family slash not directly father and child.
gotcha.
But her father would also be a elf, like a like a well respected elf at one point, but then due to an incident in his past, caused him to basically be living in the slums.
Yeah. Uh, I would say if I would say that Sune's father probably traveled because he was widely known for being a popular medicine healer slash being one of the first people to come across come across the plague and not be affected by it. He
Okay.
probably was one of the main people trying to look towards a cure, if anything, a way to try and stop it, which is why Sune knows a whole lot on what to do.
Yeah.
I would say you would know very basic, but you can tell that from her accent, it's definitely not common language that is her first language.
Okay. Would I be able to effectively converse with her in this language?
Mm, for right now, I'm not because we have the homebrew thing where if we want to speak in another language, we have to speak in another language. I only did this because I would like to teach you, like to help you guys learn a different language, but also it means I have to learn a different language.
Got it.
But for right now, I would say
I mean, we could just say like,
does Sune know Draconic?
no, she knows Common, Elvish, and Northern Tongue. Although Northern Tongue, I don't know what exactly that is. I don't even know how that's on my character sheet, to be honest.
I never heard of that.
I do not remember selecting that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember selecting that, so I don't know why I have it.
I I don't even know what that is.
Can I just change that right now? Just because, like, I don't know what the fuck that is or how it's on here.
We could say it's a dialect of your common.
Okay,
Yeah.
it would be like Spain, like Spain Spanish and Mexican Spanish, or yeah, Spanish and Mexico.
Yeah, it's like American Spanish and Mexican yeah, Mexico Spanish and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a different dialect, but
or
but they mean
yeah,
similar things. It's just different dialect.
yeah,
Um
or like fucking Scottish, English, and then English, American English.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That's when I start speaking the Scottish. I'm speaking Northern Tongue.
And this begins to make sense why you went into Scottish. Scotland? Scot I'm not even gonna try with that one.
Scotland. That was not Scottish.
Ugh.
Okay, yes. Getting off track here. The ADD is strong.
Oh my god. Don't get me started on that. So would you be okay with a time skip a bit at this point?
Sure.
So I would
Well,
say,
I wanted to figure out the beast person's name first before the time skip.
yeah, so you would realize that her name is Celery, which might mean something entirely different in her native tongue, but for right now, it does not translate well.
Okay.
But has asked you to give her a name. She seems rather happy and almost anticipating something good.
Hmm. Give me a second. I'm gonna go with Arato.
Arato?
Erato.
Erato.
After the muse of love poetry. Yes, after the Greek muse of love poetry.
All right. I will try not to butcher that up. So,
I knew like I wanted to name her after one of the seven muses once I had the chance to. Because
I,
Apollo is like also one of the gods that relate to healing.
I was gonna give you the option, so so
Yeah.
you and Arato seem to communicate well at the distance you are within the 24 hours. After the 24 hours, you realize that you probably aren't sick or infected at the very least, but to make to make things less like you're trying to skip out on work, you begin to fake these common illnesses and side effects of a common cold, both to strengthen you and oh shoot, I already forgot her name. What's her name?
Lareto.
Erato. To both strengthen you and Arato's relationship and knowledge of medicine overall, you've begun to fake common illnesses, side effects, and all that, which to your roommate, which you've come to remember his name being Celine, uh, you to Celine, this is like dangerous levels of insanity that uh, you just are just suddenly very, very sick. He thinks that there is something going on. He is skeptical, he is paranoid, and he has not stepped into y'all's bedroom in over a month. Um Meanwhile,
Do
because
you think within this time frame I would have been able to convince the lord and lady of like having Urato be maybe a secondary taster or someone because like maybe saying her canine abilities might allow her to taste poisons better as well, and like have her basically be as a helper to me.
so
Because having being a taster would be a very high up position still because of
so
the danger.
do you think Sune would go confront them personally?
After she knows that she isn't contagious or sick, she would have. Because like the second she knows that she would be actually like trying to help people, she wouldn't be trying to skip out on work or do anything like that.
All right.
And she would bring up the idea with Arato first, see if Arato is down.
So you bring it up to Erato, and she doesn't seem like
Arato.
Erato. Gotcha. She doesn't seem
I
like she
yeah,
exactly
found it.
understands the whole premise of it, but she seems happy to just be around you. Um, she doesn't seem to complain very much, and as you go up the stairs to the castle, to the second floor where you know the lord and the lady rest and remain, as well as the higher tiers of the people in the castle reside, you are met with, yeah, I would rather say a bit higher up human. She has her hair in a bun and she seems to be wearing an Eddie outfit. Uh, um, she seems to be holding two pairs of children, though they are bundled up and the race of them are unknown at the moment. She gives you a look, looks you up and down, then looks at Arado and her face turns to disgust. She doesn't say anything, but she shoulder checks Irado pretty hard, to the point where she stumbles backwards a bit.
Is she still carrying the babies?
She is.
Could I do message and disguise my because a lot of people here don't know magic well, right?
No, it's a very, from what you've gathered, from living here in the city for so long, and in the castle in particularly, uh, magic doesn't seem to be a common thing around here. If anything, it seems almost as insane as healing and magic and medicine. They all seem to be roped into the same vicinity of the unknown.
I would love to use message and disguise my voice so it isn't directly recognizable as mine. to be like, to make her think that it's a god saying like, you shouldn't have done that, go apologize.
So,
Like God, like one of the gods is directly speaking to her to tell her to go say sorry to Arato.
so how does that sound?
You shouldn't have done that. Go apologize now, or face punishment.
So the moment after that happens, she looks around with the like her face is pure white with fear. She looks around clutching the baby's heads, each one of them close to her bosom, and she's kind of looking around in fear and then flees the area almost as quickly as you've seen people flee away from the plague.
Before she does, can I say like, you gotta say sorry. Like
So
before she's out of range of message.
So you say that, and she's just like she clutches her ears with each baby, and she's like, "Back, demon, back, back! Ah, help, help!
Is that
Where's
any
my
way to treat your god?
demon, demon?" And as she runs away, slamming as many things as she can behind her with like a babe, like an armful of baby. Uh, shoot, I can't pronounce her name real well. What's her name?
I put the pronunciation in the
Oh,
chat
okay, yeah.
in our Discord chat.
Thank you. I'm gonna look at that real quick because I'm
Because I know we both were gonna be struggling with that.
Erato. I need to write that down. Shit.
Yeah,
Erato.
Erato.
Erato is looks at you, looks at where the nanny basically went to, and she kind of twists her head a bit and points a finger directly at you, stops, curls it inward, and then kind of tries to gesture it off as a hand clap as she clasps her hand together and has a big old smile on her face.
Now then, shall we see if we can get you that job?
She nods her head, agreeing with you, not saying much in the vicinity of, well, just the castle. You would know that most animal people, they don't really they don't really begin to speak a whole lot when in the vicinity of something so large. A lot of your coworkers who are
Yeah.
animal people don't tend to really say much when they are inside the castle, almost as if they're intimidated just being in the presence of one.
Guy.
So,
As we reach more like the final area where they would be, I would have Erato just kind of like wait outside before I make sure like they're okay with me bringing her in. Because I know the status of them, hell, even the status of me being there could be bad. But I'm using my position as a taster to my advantage.
mhm. So Irato uh, quietly just nods her head and she positions herself as tall and as standing as possible while keeping her hood up and her tail tucked, twisting between her legs and all that, her head lowered down in respect of not looking at people directly in the eyes. She will patiently wait for you outside the door.
Yeah,
Do
I'll knock on it first to make sure I have permission to come in.
so after wrapping your hands on the wooden door frame, you hear silence for a little bit, and then you hear the booming holler almost of your mistress, the person you taste test for, in a very cheerful manner, like she's always known to have. She says, "Oh, hello! Oh, it's open!"
I'll like slowly open the door, like, thank you, mistress. I wanted to see if it's okay if I could talk to you about something.
The moment you open the door, you see you are faced with a very lavished area And oddly enough, despite it being lavished in golds and silvers and all that, there's a sense of what would you would describe as plant life, like almost farmer-esque, which has always shocked you that the mistress has always had a tendency to have a lot of plants around her area. There are plenty of raised little garden areas where herbs and medicines seem to grow all throughout, and she seems just happy taking care of them. You're not sure why anybody of her stature would ever have these many plants or even be around dirt, to be honest with you. You seem She seems more down to earth than your lord and seems to be more understanding towards you, the half elves and the animal people. In fact, she seems like she may be the only reason why you guys even are hired. She is a more plump lady, got wide hips, a big chest, but she doesn't seem
You
like
got them birthing hips.
Where do you think those babies came from? she uh she seems rather plump at best. She has, oddly enough, whenever you see her, of course, as long as she's not outside the castle, she has a pair of overalls on, and despite them being overalls, they have a slimmer of being fancy, with golden attire shimmering with gold, of course. It shimmers and sparkles like it's brand new. And on top of that, the denim seems as blue as the sky. It's very beautiful. Her her golden locks seemed almost perfect at any given time. With It doesn't even look like there's an inch of dirt on them at all. And she always has it up in a messy ponytail. You're not sure how those two uh formulate a good looking hairstyle, but they always seems to work. No matter what, she always seems like she has the perfect hair. She adjusts her a lock of hair. She adjusts a lock of hair as it falls right between her eyes, and she turns to you, gently starting to take off her white gloves that have been tainted with a semi darkish brown color, her bright green eyes happily looking down at you as she is 7 foot tall. Her gray skin is immaculate today. It's rather pleasant to look at. She seems happy to see you, almost wanting to reach over and give you a hug, if not for your stature differences. And, well, stature difference being I would definitely have to make her some art, but she definitely seems friendly. If not, she definitely gives off the southern vibes of a very nice woman. She seems happy to see you, almost wanting to embrace you. She goes, "Oh, Sune! Hi! What a pleasant surprise."
How you doing today, mistress?
"Oh, just peachy. I just gave birth to some little ones, you know." And she just kind of waves her hand around. Uh, you would know that.
Oh, about that. Uh, the nanny seems to have been starting to suffer from some hallucinations.
Oh
I think
my!
she might need a psych evaluation soon, as she was slamming things around while holding the infants
Oh! And she kind of puts a hand over her mouth.
and screaming about demons.
Oh dear! She kind of like she's gasping and she's like all dramatic, but you can see that there's a glint of a smile behind it. Oh, I'll tell Sweetie. I'll tell my darling about this. She's always been a bit kooky. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. She's kind of older. You know those older humans.
Yeah, nowhere near as as tolerant as newer generations are.
Oh, don't say that. She kind of just chuckles a bit and takes off another glove and places them right next to a elevated gardening little shaft sort of thing where seems to be planting some newly looking like she just bought it new plants. You're not sure what they are yet, as they are just greenery right now, but give the mistress a few days, they will surely sprout something. So what can I do for you?
Well, recently, you know how I became very ill after the incident with the plague?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I was really worried.
That got me thinking about how if worst were to come and I were to tragically pass,
Oh, don't say that.
I would
Don't say
not want to
that.
leave you guys without a taster or anything, or someone without who's unable to take my place, albeit even if temporarily. So the other day I was able to find someone before I got sick
She
who
raises
seemed
an
to have an
eyebrow.
interest in doing some of the dealings uh, with healing that like I can do sometimes, and uh, wanting to actively be a tester as well.
She
I was wondering if it would be okay if I took her on as an assistant until she is able to either be a tester for someone else later on or take my place if worse were to ever come.
The mistress purses up her lips. Her eyebrows furrow downward. She doesn't seem very pleased with the way you're talking. Sune, are you implying that you think that somebody is going to kill you by tasting my food?
No, but no, but with me tasting for poisons in your status, there could come a time where someone tries to, God forbid, assassinate you
Oh,
again,
oh
and
heavens.
I am not able to get an antitoxin in time.
Oh, that's no, no, of course not. That would never happen again. She kind of pats you a bit on the shoulder. Her smooth, silky hands feel almost inhumane, almost unreal, as she gently leaves a du- very faint dust of dirt on them. She immediately notices it and tries to brush it off as delicately as she can, but yeah, she's trying to be as delicate given your size comparison to her 7 foot body.
Eyes
Sune!
get flung across into the opposite wall.
She's trying her best, but basically that's what happens is you get pushed back. She she kind of holds her hands to herself and bring them close to her chest. Sune, you know you weren't fragile. You're my best taste tester ever. I couldn't live without you, literally. So what's all this talk about dying?
And that, I think, it's just precautions, mistress. I would hate to leave you high and dry.
Oh, I understand that, but
And with the plague going around recently, too,
oh, don't worry
and
about
such the
that.
scare I had, I just.
Don't worry about the plague. It's never gonna come here. We have the best protection in the world.
Have you guys been boiling the water?
We are not animals. We are not those. She stops herself almost with within a second's moment to rethink her
Like
words.
she's remembering that I'm like my heritage.
Well, not only that, but she remembers that she's the one that hired a lot of animal people too.
Yeah.
She's
And there's one, although she doesn't know it yet, there's one outside the fucking door.
yeah,
And technically half breed in front of her.
yeah. She stops herself and holds a hand nimbly over her mouth. It's just I don't want to hear all this negativity. I don't believe we'll be in danger as long as we have you around. But she pauses, thinking hard on your words. But yeah, given that if you were to say find a lover on the other hand, she gently like leans towards you, a mischievous smile on her face. Maybe we can let your lover stay with you. Hello, Mew. She's dead.
You just see Sune just like slowly put her hands together and just like be like, hmm. So what are the laws about gay people in this world?
Because it's
Or at this time period?
because that's the medieval era and like high time, like there's a plague. No one gives a shit. As long as you're alive, you are a fuckable and breedable.
Now the question would just be, I don't know why I got pinged from that. The second you said, I got pinged from like some sort of thing saying lesbians. Not
that's
from you, but just from a random server.
that's fucking that. This might be a sign.
Would they have even gone close enough to pull that shit or even say they're
With the animal that you're trying to erato.
yeah,
Um,
with Urato. Yeah, with Urato.
Urato, I would say that anybody, given your status and how close you are, oh shit, given your status of how close you are to the mistress, I would say that if you
Uh,
said, oh
it looks like the stream might have went down.
yeah,
I'm reloading the page.
yeah,
Yeah, the stream went down.
yeah, it's reconnected. Um,
Okay, let's give it a second before the stream comes. Okay,
is it back?
wait,
Oh,
no, it's
nope.
still saying it's. I'm checking right
It says on my end
now.
it's it says there's a poor
Okay, now it's saying
connection.
I'm live.
Yeah. It says there's a poor connection.
Yeah, we back. Okay.
Yeah. Um, I have to fix that
Alrighty.
later with the
Okay,
poor
so
connection.
we were leaving. Yeah. So where we last left off, for if anyone didn't hear, we were talking about whether or not Sune and Urato would have gotten close enough to even start dating.
At this point, you guys would have been around each other for maybe a week or two, which given the time period, that's the equivalent as like 2 years.
They would have been pumping out 5 babies.
Yeah. I would say that at that point in time that Sune would be able to tell a lot of things about Urato that are just normal things to Urato, and Urato would have learned a lot of common from Sune to the point where she can now understand a lot of words more than she was able to communicate with you back when you first met.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I would say it's up to the player if Sune would abuse this position of power with her closeness to the mistress and absolutely lie to her face or tell her the truth, but no matter what, the mistress will believe you no matter what.
I don't think Sune would lie. I don't think they would like Arato or Sune would be close enough to be considered lovers yet, but I think they would be getting close.
Mm-hmm.
So like if anything, Sune would be like, no, nothing like that. It's more she had an interest in learning medicine,
Mm.
and she has a great taste test. Like would be great for tasting for stuff as well
Oh,
because of her heritage.
what is her? What
Which I
is?
have.
What is she? If you know so much, what would you say is this? Is it a she? And she kind of like cocks her head a little bit, like eyes leaning in and squinting.
Yes, she is a she.
Oh, okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure because you know. And she kind of twirls a hand around. And she goes on to continue to say, "Well, what would she? Uh, what kind of race is she? I'm sure we can probably get her something newer. Probably. Oh, hello. Sorry, my ADHD kicked in. Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, someone news typing in
Oh
chat.
no.
Hi.
Hi. We're about midway through the first session as first stream, so it's kind of rocky, but we're getting there. Um she waves her hand in the air and she goes, well, given her race, we might be able to help her out. What is she?
Well, she is a beast person, kind of like how my mother was.
She kind of nods her head a bit and she says under her breath, almost faint, but given that it's very quiet in the room, you can clearly make out what she's saying. She says, "Oh, I see. A thing like that. That's not gonna be. Man, I she's mumbling a bit more to herself than you would like to admit, saying a bit of what you've come to realize are slurs of the animals, animal people. But she is saying it in a non malicious way, almost as if she was raised or taught that this is just normal things of people to say about them.
Yeah. I would just be holding my tongue, not really saying anything too much. Just biding my time effectively, waiting for her to finish.
She stops grumbling and she pauses, puts a hand over her chin and just thinks, closing her eyes a bit, and she says, "All right, I think I could pull a few strings. Maybe ask the hubby for another favor. Just probably pop out another child. You know how he goes."
If you want, I could also head back towards the district I was born in and see if I could get any more books from the brothel. You know, those moves. Actual plot point that happens a lot
I'm sorry, you have
where with the ladies in waiting, Mao Mao will go to the brothel she grew up next to, slash has people she knows in there, and get books about special moves
sorry, they
that,
what?
that she then teaches the ladies in waiting. Yeah, that is an actual plot point in Apothecary Diaries. That happens several times.
Hey, yo, you want to get fucked?
And the Emperor, yeah, and the Emperor has loved some of the moves that Mao Mao teaches to concubines.
That's
So I'm
absolutely
applying that
insane.
logic here if you're okay with that.
Yes, and hey, this is D&D. The only rule is that it's a yes and. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but there will be repercussions.
Hell yeah.
So
then yeah, I feel like Sune would have given these books for like favors. Like, oh, these books would be favors because it helps so much in the bedroom.
So her eyes kind of wide a bit, and she's like, "Oh my, yeah, yes, of course, yes. Those helped a lot, helping me get the gardeners I needed." And she kind of just almost reaches out towards your hands to grasp them, but then stops and realizes that she's 3 times your height and size, and just gently just clasp her hands together again. Alrighty. You can bring her in. When can she come over? In like the afternoon? Half an hour?
Uh, she is outside the door.
She what? She kind of storms, like, walks over
She
to the door and opens it up. She looks around, and you would know that your friend, your companion, Irato is behind the door when it swings open. Um, so
wait,
she's
wait, 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 wait. She's right behind
you just
the
hear
door.
a
Just
very
gets hit with the door as I'm saying that.
Yup. You hear a very loud, almost cat-like scream or surprise as the door basically slams all the way open, and the mistress gasps, drops her hand from the handle of the door, and just kind of like steps away. She slightly opens or slightly closes the door and peers over, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, Suni," and she looks back at you. Can you go fetch the lavender and all that? Your friend is crying."
I'm gonna walk around the door and see like what exactly happened.
Um, so you walk around your mistress to look at Irato, and you can see that she's holding her nose, but not actually touching it. She is just holding it, hovering her hands above her nose, and it's just tears streaming down her face as her nose is all bloody and with snot and blood and tears just trickling down her face, and she looks upset but understands it might have been her fault, almost as if she has already come to
Would
this.
enough time have passed for me to be able to swap out like one of my spells?
Yeah.
Like, because I can prepare and unprepare spells.
So we have already established this. That we're already been 2 weeks into you and Iratu teaching one another, um, which is almost the equivalent of like 2 fucking years because this is like medieval era shit. And
Then I would cast Cure Wounds on her nose. It's like,
does that heal? I can't remember exactly.
yeah,
What?
it heals for 1d8 plus 4.
All right. Can you roll me that? Just for a bit of flavor.
Okay. That'd be 10.
10.
10 damage healed.
Oh my god. So you do you touch her at all? That sounds
I would like,
terrible.
yeah, I just start.
I start touching her breast. Oh.
No, like my hands would like gently be like not touching, but like if I moved any closer, I would be touching. Like that distance, like where it's unclear as to whether or not it's touching, but still like the person won't be able to feel the touch.
So
As
you would be hovering your
just
hand
from my
over.
fingertips, this pale green light would start to emit.
Mm. Do you try to hide this from the mistress? Because, like it was
I feel like the
established,
mistress would know that I'm able to do this. Like because like I even mentioned directly my ability to heal and stuff like that. Like I feel like the mistress would know. Like I've helped her out with some stuff before, like this.
Because I do want to reinstate that magic, medicine, and healing overall, and like practices of modern medical needs and all that are considered the strange and obscure, and that a lot of people don't know what that is at this current time.
I feel like the mistress would have accepted the strange obscure for me, especially with my weird love of poisons.
Mhm. I would say that the mistress also has a interest in herbal medicine, if not just a sort
Yeah,
of understanding of it, but not entirely. She understands what a few herbs do, given that she is actively growing some in her bedroom.
yeah.
So how do you heal? How do you heal?
Yeah, my fingers would just be barely touching, and like the softest pale green light, like bluish green light, like the same color as my hair in the picture,
Mhm.
would just be emitting from my fingers as I like basically heal up Arato's nose, and like if it's broken, like it'll just gently snap into place with no pain.
Can you roll me a d20?
Like it would work even better than what it did beforehand. D20,
Mm-hmm.
just straight D20.
Mm-hmm. Just look.
17.
So with a 17, you get a odd feeling of somebody trying to pry your hand away. But it's not the mistress. It's not the the cat woman you've come to realize. Erato. It's neither of
It's
them.
not Rato.
It's not Erato. It's not the mistress. And when you look around, there is no one else besides you three. You get the feeling that some other worldly thing is trying to pry your hand away from Erato. But it's not doing it very aggressively, more of passively trying to sway your hand away from them. Um, when you get done healing Arato, she looks in amazement as she wipes away the rest of the blood that drips, and the mistress just oh ho, ho, ho. Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful, you've done a great job. Yeah, I'm gonna go get the herbs. And she kind of just walks back in. You hear a few plucks and like a blah 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 blah, and she comes back out almost in swift motion with a bundle of herbs. You you can assume that they're probably lavender. She's very, very fond of lavender, almost carrying the scent with her everywhere she goes. Um, she kind of just crushes them up between her hands and hands the crushed up mess of lavender that emits extreme amounts of the smell almost around you at this point. She kind of offers the bundle to you as if she were to hand them into your hands. It would be the equivalent of handling a bundle of them to you. She gives you this bright smile and proceeds to tell you. She goes, "Oh, well, how about you take care of her? Just give her the works. Just look over her. I will, I gotta find that mistress, the one with my babies." And she kind of just waves a hand over, and before you can even say anything, she storms away, almost not wanting to deal with something that she inadvertently caused damage to.
Got it.
Um,
As she's like walking away, like I will just say, I'll leave the book by your bedside tonight,
she doesn't
hoping
say
she
any,
knows I'm talking about that book.
she doesn't say anything outwardly, but you can hear in the back of your mind, because I would assume that you've taught her how to do message and all that. You would inadvertently hear in your
You
mind,
do need to be looking with message.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
It's a sight spell.
Is it really? Shoot, I need a recatch on my spells.
You point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. Oh no, okay. You can cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it is beyond a barrier. Okay.
Got that right, bitch. I'm
So
so
it,
sorry.
so it is something that works. Okay.
Yeah. I I
Wait.
I know my spells. Shit, I was a wizard.
Who
So
who went insane with blood magic?
hey, it was for the plot. Um so she kind of just saunters her hips a bit, and you hear in the back of your mind, "Oh, please do, please do. You know where to put it, and right away in the underneath uh the books." And she does air quotes while walking away on the books portion. You would know them as dirty magazines, the equivalent of dirty magazines that on the outside just look like history books. They're on her nightstand, and you've come to realize, because you accidentally picked one up out of curiosity, that they're just filled with dirty magazines.
Are
Pictures.
they lesbians?
There's a mixture. You're not sure what it is exactly, but there's a mixture.
The mistress is a bi icon.
She's something icon.
Or at the very least, she's a bottom.
Oh no, she's definitely a bottom. So,
How big and strong she is? Of course she has to be. She can crush him like Dub.
oh my god, yeah. Absolutely. Kind of built like Dub, but like more chubbier.
She's the MILF that Dub.
Yeah, yeah, she is. She needs a. She has the body that needs somebody like. I'm not even gonna finish that. No, no. um. So, Uratu kind of looks at you. I've said this name multiple times in multiple different formats. Uratu looks at you, and she kind of smiles a bit sheepishly. And for the first time since entering, she, in a low tone, at begins to question you. So, did I do good?
Yes, he did perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The
good.
mistress just got a little bit too excited and didn't realize you were behind the door.
In the distance, you hear the mistress loudly yelling at who you assume is the maiden that was carrying the children. She goes and she yells out, "What are you doing? The children have demons in them! The children! Get them away!" And you just hear large clattering in the distance.
We should probably head back to the room now.
Oh,
So in that way, we can at least get you acquainted with the sleeping quarters, because the mistress will be hopefully being able to pull some strings and get you a job here. And then I will need to head back home for a little bit to get a book for the mistress.
your home is not here? She kind of shuffles her
I
hands a little bit.
am about half a year ago. I was taken
But you're here.
and sold here, but this wasn't where I was born. This isn't where my family is. This is more like a workplace where
She
I have to pay off the price I was bought for before I can be full on free or fired.
she blinks. She You could just tell by the way she is looking at you, she does not understand. She points to herself and she says, "I'm not born here either. Yeah, just kind of came over here by boat."
This castle has no family, siblings, father, mother. Like I'm like Sune at this point would be trying to convey that this isn't a place of loved ones. This is a place of earning survival, or like earning money to survive.
Mm. So eventually, through trial and error, you would be able to get to Areto to understand, given that some, some similarities to how she fled from her home country, or what used to be her home country. Um, she seems to understand it when
Yeah.
you were able to converse it through that way. She seems upset when puts two and two together that this isn't your home, but you're not sure why she is upset.
Well, she's come to my home, so
She she doesn't seem like she understands a whole lot of the situation, given that things might be a little different than what things were where she was from.
yeah.
She doesn't say much, but she lowers her head and fumbles with the cloak again. She mumbles something under her breath, but she doesn't outwardly say it out loud.
Can I try to hear what she said?
Make a, what was it, insight check to hear it.
Insight. Okay. How's a 19?
That's pretty fucking good. I'm so proud of you. um, so with the
I'm
night,
just getting lucky rolls tonight.
yeah, no, you've pretty much passed everything but the beginning roll. You've pretty much passed everything. Um, I hate even if I don't tell you, you pass the test, the DC and all that. This is insane. I'm enjoying this though. This is going in the direction I wanted it to. You hear her silently pray, mutter a incantation you've come to be familiar with that is a similar thing of a prayer within her language. You probably can tell that she may be upset about something, but she is saying a silent prayer in your favor as she lifts up her head and gives you a all too knowing friendly smile.
Yeah, during all this, we've been like talking and walking and whatnot
Mm-hmm.
as I'm like packing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
Guy.
talking, walking. She's just silently praying. She's that weird chick that's always praying in the hallways.
Yeah, I feel like at this point I like would have my stuff and like basically be ready to go with her to my house in the brothel I live
Mm-hmm.
next to.
Yeah. So, as you are gathering your stuff up, you see Celine again, and he looks kind of pissed. He's storming over to you and Iratu, and he's just kind of like, it looks like he's just fed up with you and your shenanigans.
What's up, Celine?
What's up? You're missing for 2 weeks. Come on. Where's where's the rent? I had to throw out my
We never
book.
agreed to pay any rent.
Well, you had to pay me somehow. I had to pick up your dirty clothes. They had the disease on them.
I told you not to pick them up several times.
Well,
I
congratulations,
told
you
you
got
to
my
go and
favorite.
get me clothing.
And I did that. After I threw those things in the water because they were dirty.
I specifically told you not to touch them because they could get you sick.
He folds his hands over his chest.
I didn't want you to.
He folds them over his chest and just kind of like, just looks like he's upset at you a little bit more. At this point, Iratu seems to look between the two of you and almost saunters a bit to stand in front of you, but only to a little bit. Celine takes
Like
notice of
she's
this.
trying to protect me.
Yeah, just like if things get bad, she's gonna stand in front of y'all. Um, she kind of looks at you and then to him, and Celine takes notice of this, and he goes, ho ho, been hoeing it up, aren't you?
She is my student and I am her teacher.
Uh-huh,
That is all.
uh-huh. He's just kind of like gives you a stink eye at this point, and he just folds his arms. I've been around you for so long. I know who you are.
Can I use a mage hand to pants him?
Yeah.
That's it. Like it just appears behind him, just. Whoop.
He kind of just looks at you in shock as he is not wearing underwear. And Iratu,
I knew it was small, but damn, that's tiny.
well, it's average. It's I mean, and he's just like stuttering as he is trying to grab his pants as quickly as possible. Iratu looks at his genital area and turns to you, and she kind of looks confused. She goes, "They have one? It's tiny. It's microscopic. That's how you use that word, correct?"
Humans and purebred elves. Yes, humans and purebred elves. Yeah, they do tend to have one.
That's incredibly useless. How can you impregnate something with just one? So,
I mean, there's several million of them, so they managed to do something right.
but they're all that if that's the average, but well, that's not gonna do
That's
anything.
not the average. That is not the average. Trust me. I used to work at a place where I had to see a lot of different kinds. Well, not worked. I had family that worked there. I used to have to visit to deliver medicine. That's the right phrasing.
Shut your mouth. It is average. And Celine just picks up his stuff and just
Pat, pat.
Celine is smaller than you, and you do pat him on the head, and he just grabs your hand and grabs your thumb specifically and begins to bend it backwards to the point where it begins to hurt. Uh, he
Can I
does
just uh yeet the child like into a nearby pond as he tries to do this?
roll me a strength, straight up strength, and then afterwards, if you are successful,
17.
that's insane. Roll me athletics, just like chuck him over your shoulder into a pond.
That's a 7.
So you manage to pick up the child and stop him before he can do actual any damage to your thumb. You pick him up by his wrist, and at this point he's screaming and hollering, almost to the point of actually getting somebody's attention. If it wasn't for the fact that he's always screaming and hollering, he proceeds to
Yeah.
try and scratch your arm, but he just can't reach. He's just small, and you throw him over your shoulder and just drop him behind your back. And before he can scutter away,
No, I throw him into a vase behind me.
you throw him across your back, and he ends up just like scuttering to the floor, kind of just like sliding on the concrete slash dirt floor as he does so. He kind of stays there for a moment. His pants fall back down, and before he can get back up, uh, Urato is on top of him. She is brandishing a what seems to be a very rustic, very unique looking sword, and she has it pressed against his back. And she has a look to her that you've never seen before.
Rato, no, don't kill him. He is just messing around.
She looks to you and she gives you a very cold, icy look before slowly, very, very slowly taking the sword off his back. His back is slowly bleeds where the sword met, where the steel sword met his spine and flesh, and he begins to shake a bit. And she pulls away the sword, hides it beneath her cloak. You're not sure where exactly she's putting this, as the cloak is very doesn't really hide much other than maybe her animal aspects a whole lot. And she backs away. She spits on him and looks the other way. She is
I
obviously
gently like pat her on the top of the head and just start taking her out to the where like a carriage or something would be to take me to the like edge of town where the red district would be.
Hmm. So you pat her on the head, and she lets out a huff of annoyance. And as you are leading the way to the red district, she is oddly quiet, with a tense feeling in the air between the two of you. As you are entering the red district, finally getting to that entryway of it, she speaks up. She goes, why did you let him go?
He is more useful living than he is dead.
But but he is back.
If he were to be, no, he is just more. I don't know how to say. He's not bad per se, though. He is more mis
Miss. She doesn't seem to
on the
understand.
wrong path.
She doesn't seem to understand that word, as she seems to fumble with it, rolling it off her tongue and everything. What path is he on?
Misguided. Uh, he was led astray from his path that would take him down to good roads. Say, the way of life that we live, every decision we make takes us down a different fork in a path. He, at some point, was led down a wrong fork, a fork that negatively affected him.
She lowers her head and seems to really think about your words. Seems to slowly digest them and really take them into consideration. Are we on a bad road? We don't live where we work, and we work, but we are slaves.
That is harder to describe. I would say, are you doing the best you can in your scenario? And are you helping those who need it?
She thinks for a moment, putting her hands into her sleeves and really in deep in thought. She lowers her ears, trying to think and slowly lets out her line of words, almost as if something else has taken over. She says in a very monotone-esque voice, with a bit of hope that you probably rarely see within the woman. She goes, I'm trying to to be the person my people need.
Are you being the person you need or the person your people need?
I need my people, and my people need me. You
Just don't forget about yourself along the way.
you
It's okay to help others, but it is not okay to neglect yourself in the process.
no, I master, and she pauses and she thinks for a moment, and she seems to struggle a bit before coming to realization of who you are. Sune has helped a lot. Um, I enjoy Sune, and Sunin is one of my people.
Glad to hear that you're one of my people too.
She looks up and she almost has a bit of hope that you've come to take a liking to. Almost a childlike hope, free will, very out there, very pure and innocent, and she looks extremely happy. She begins to purr a bit, that you've come to realize is a rare occurrence for the very animal human, and she seems to take in her
I
surroundings a
thought she
bit.
was a dog.
It was never really classified. Honestly, you probably wouldn't like Sunin probably would have thought they were a dog up to this point.
Yes, Sune, with her own like slight cat-like features every now and then would have assumed that Urata was a dog, not a cat.
This is very funny. Yeah, so just like the purge confirms that it is the cat, like animal human, and
Yeah.
she begins to purr and looks around, obviously confused. Sunin can tell that the Red District, within her time of absence and teaching, Uratu has extremely degraded. There is the smell of plague is very heavy in the air, and
Well,
almost
her father would still be in the area.
mhm, uh, I would say he is still. If you look for him, you may find him. But the smell of death and sickness, illness is very heavy and pungent within the air. But to your surprise, your companion doesn't seem affected a whole lot. In fact, she almost seems like she's unaware of the death around her.
Yeah, Sune will frown slightly as she starts making her way towards her house and then knocks on the door when she arrives
As
to
you
see if her father is still there.
as you walk by, you can obviously tell that the Red District may be almost in near contamination quarantine, uh, as it is very obvious that a lot of the ill are roaming around actively, some almost dying right at your feet or near your feet, but obviously not touching, as others are wheezing their head off, like you've seen from a few weeks ago. Some seem
Yeah.
to have boils, others seem to have scars, almost lashes on them from the illness itself. there is no permanent forever stay on what the illness causes other than the wheeze, the coughing, and the blood. Other than that, there is always something physical that is very apparent near the later stages, but otherwise, there is nothing that is set in stone to be diagnosed with. You knock on the door, and within a few raps, you don't hear anything. You knock again, and you hear scuttering. Do you knock again?
Yeah, I'll knock again.
So within the third time of knocking, you hear shuffling, and to your surprise, you are met with your father, completely safe, completely healthy, but very, very tattered and tired from what you can only assume would be dozens of people daily coming to him begging for his help. You are unsure why he is always so fit in health despite being around so many ill people, but you seem to have some kind of theory on that, but you can never be sure of what it is. He looks at
It's
you.
that damn high elf blood.
It's that damn northern blood. He looks at you almost bewildered to see you here, alive, well, and healthy, and he looks over at Irato, giving almost the same shocked look. He gently takes his hand and shakily takes it and places it on your on your cheek, his thumb caressing your hair slightly as he is almost brought to tears. He, in a shaky voice, begins to speak. He goes, you gotta leave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
I can tell that it's been ravaging the area. But unfortunately, you know that I still have to do what my mistress wanted, and I have to collect a certain book.
Honey, and he, his grip on your cheek lightly tightens, but not too much, just enough to make a point. He begins to say something, and then as he begins to let the words out, he stops and rethinks it and recalculates his words. He opens his mouth again, and his words are still shaky, almost fearing death itself might be hearing. He goes, I know. Why don't you leave? Why don't you run away? Yeah, I've told you once, I've told you twice. It's okay to leave that area. Have to you don't have to pay for my mistakes. I'm sorry. I just
I'm
he
not paying for your mistakes. I'm paying because of those kidnappers decide to take me.
I'm so sorry, honey. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Tears well up in his eyes, and he wants to come in for a hug. He almost asks for it, but he doesn't want to force it on you.
Yes, Sune is not the type for hugs.
He just looks at you, understanding, and his hands begin to tremble as he hears a cough in the back of his home, really, and Sune can tell that there is, just from the glance of what she can tell from the doorframe, probably 6 or 10 people in there alone, on beds, makeshift cots, on the floor, dozens of wooden buckets around. Whatever they hold, no one will know, but all can imagine that it's mucus, blood, feces, anything like that, that can be held, liquid format, anything like that. It is being carried within the buckets, and it is not anything polite. And he kind of
Do we
begins.
know if the old
Hmm?
Oh, soon I was gonna have like Sune say something.
Oh, go ahead. I ain't stopping you.
Uh, yeah, Sune would like look to her dad and then look over in the direction of the where the brothel is and be like, "Do we know if the old hag and some of the sisters there, if they are still okay?"
He.
Because I feel like her and like her father would have close relations with them,
What are
just
you
because of
insinuating?
not that the father takes care of them medically. Because this is also spoilers for Apothecary Diaries. Sune's mother also resides there, but she is severely sick with an STI, or sexually transmitted infection.
Um, Sune would know that in the Red District, her father is the known quote unquote best medical professor around. And you would know in the Red District, surprisingly enough, because everybody is so freaking poor in this area, they just believe anything that they're told about how to fix themselves, which means that they believe that medicine exists and that it's actual thing. And oddly enough, they usually have better treatments like sanitary than the other places, but only by slightly.
But enough to make a difference.
Yes. So for Suning to obviously see that the Red District is falling slash being a place where they are sending the sick, it is very, very alarming. He he looks at Suning and he does a dry gulp. He obviously doesn't want to say or just do anything that would confirm or deny anything like that. Whether that be from guilt or trauma, nobody will know.
I'm about to head there anyways. I'm gonna find out if anyone's died or not.
Just
So it'd be better to rip the bandage off now.
he almost begins to shake and a little bit more than what he used to. Tears forming in his eyes. He begins to lightly shake his head, just in the format of saying no. And he doesn't want to let go at this point, but he does. He lets his hand go away from Sunni's cheek, and he holds himself tight to his chest, and he goes, just get out of here as quick as possible. The infection's bad over here. I'm I might flee myself if I wasn't immune.
I'll be out as quick as I can.
Just I love you, you know that.
I love you too, Father.
And
And go help those people.
I'm I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Without saying anything, she's just gonna close the door and start making her way down to the brothel.
Can you make me a perception check on the way there?
Alright.
Perception check to see how many of the ill you see, and I'm trying to think what else.
15.
Insight on Iratu, if you would like to check up on her on the way there, because she is still following.
14.
Alright, so about average. A little bit above average. So on the way to the brothel, you begin to see infected bodies, no longer alive. The infection still ravages their dead carcasses, and seems to, at some format, mutated them. Their flesh begins to scream back. This is not what you're used to seeing about the infection. This seems like almost a mutation, if not a alternate thing. This is not what you're used to seeing. Um, this flesh scream, its skin boils and ravishes and squelches and squeaks. Some bigger than others, some with mouths, some with eyes, some with multiple eyes. It's all almost unnerving to look at. So it's better to just keep your head up and away from the sides of the street. Iratu.
Do I get anything from?
Iratu seems.
I was just asking about that.
Yeah, I was about to get there. Iratu seems almost concerned about the looks of it. She doesn't seem to understand a whole lot of the area she's living in now, but she understands that this is not normal. But otherwise health related, she is going around, she is poking them with a stick or a rock, and she doesn't seem like like she told you in the beginning, she doesn't seem like she's getting infected. Almost as if she doesn't get sick. She
Interesting.
oh, I'm so sorry. She almost gets sidetracked a couple of times battling the remains of living carcasses over a stick or a rock a few times, but still manages to keep up. As you near the brothel, finally entering the street it's on, you begun to realize that something has happened to the brothel. It seems to be the source of where this thing has originated. There are more things around. They don't seem like carcasses anymore. They almost seem like beast. Not the sense of what you're used to, more like monstrous. Yes, the word that's a new word. You might have came up with it. Nothing like that has ever been heard of before. But it's the only thing that comes to your mind when you see them. They are big, they are hungry. Their skin tight on their flesh, not flesh. Their skin tight on their bones that have seemed to grown from nothing. Some of their bones still jutting out as they try to peel away skin to try and protect it. Some of them don't keep their eyes on you, while others are slowly beginning to learn how to walk, whether that be on 2 legs, 4 legs, 3 legs, no legs. You don't even know how that's possible. It seems unnatural. Something bad must have happened. Erato seems to inch closer to you, her tail wrapping around your legs, almost in a protective manner to keep you close.
Let's get out of here. Now.
She nods, not wanting to say anything in hopes of not alerting to anything.
Are there any horses nearby or anything that can get me out of here quickly?
So if there were horses, the ones that have begun to move are slowly inching toward them. They seem to be drawn to the worry cries of the horses. And even then, the horses themselves don't look very strong. Not as strong as they should be. They seem to be malnourished, if not lacking in some sort of care, almost as if they themselves are infected with whatever this is. Their flesh
Okay,
torn
then
to
I'm just
bits.
gonna start trying to sneak away with Erato and sneak back towards the castle.
Can you roll me a stealth check?
Yeah. 12.
Okay. So, as you're making your way back to the castle, you think you're getting close, but you end up turning the wrong direction. Maybe was this wall always here? You don't remember it being here, but you try to walk past it, making a U-turn, and you end up stepping on one of the squelching flesh that has yet to form anything really other than a mouth. It lets out a horrendous scream as it begins to chew onto your feet. It's it seems to have something within its mouth. It's almost digesting your shoe or what shoe you have, if not any. It's
I
like
probably only have a sandal.
yeah, something like a slip on, like Crocs or something. Canonically, Crocs exist.
Yeah, that's what she's wearing. She's wearing Crocs.
Yep. So she is.
Oh, she doesn't have shoes in that.
Oh, yeah. So it begins to chew away at your Crocs, and you. It hurts. It hurts. It's saliva when it reaches your skin. It hurts so much. You can't help but scream, which, to your surprise, turns the heads of the infected and what remains of them, and what was them, as some of the moving ones begin to saunter over. Urato,
I guess
Urato looks at you, and she almost brings you closer to her. She doesn't seem like she wants to lose you.
can I tell that this is something I can survive, or am I also infected now?
There is no way of telling, given that this is something that is something you've never seen before.
I think I'm gonna risk it and just try making it back towards the castle still, like get my foot out from this thing and go back with Arato.
Do you relay this to her?
Yeah, like, well, I should get ready to get my foot out. I'm like, let's go. So I have to make it back and let the mistress and lord know. We might need to evacuate what's left of the healthy citizens and be
She
prepared to burn those who aren't.
she nods in agreement, and she almost points to the inner workings of her cloak, and she says, "Is this the time to fight? The decision for the path of right?"
Fight, but only when necessary. We don't know if we can get infected by their blood or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you seem to be immune so far does not mean that you still can't get infected in some way.
Mm-hmm. And she pulls out her sword, which you've come to realize is a family heirloom of hers. The only thing she was able to bring, other than the clothes on her back, from her used to be home country. She brandishes it out, and she swiftly takes it and jabs it into the mucus like substance of flesh that has been biting at your feet. It squirms underneath the sword, but lets go of your foot. She draws the sword out, and she takes your hand and begins to lead the way back to what she assumes to be the way back to the capital, to the castle.
Okay.
Do you do anything? Do you help her out or anything like that?
I'm I feel like I would use poison spray on my foot or like something like try to bandage my foot, like make sure I cut off enough circulation that if there is any disease in my foot that it doesn't spread to the rest of my body.
Hmm. So when you use poison spray on your foot, your poison begins to eat holes into your skin. You want to scream, you want to yell, but you know adrenaline is pumping through your veins. You don't feel the pain for right now. All you have right now is the instinctual feeling of you need to get that out of here. You are in danger. You need to run. And despite it all, Irato doesn't seem like she has that same instinct. She doesn't seem like she has that same feeling, almost as if she has this feeling of, I must protect you. She seems to not know the
Would
move.
Arato be able to carry me on her back and I'd lead her back? So that way we can hopefully not be as much slowed down. We could be faster.
Do you relay this to Irato?
I'll ask her if she can carry me and I'll just point the way back.
Go ahead.
Arato, are you able to carry me on your back?
Uh, and she fumbles a bit, trying her best to lead the right way as well as stopping whatever comes close. She stops abruptly and holds
Just
you.
left.
She stops, and she turns back at you, and without skipping a beat, she says, she goes, just hold on tight. And she bends down, picks you up by your feet, and holds you by your back, almost in a kidnapped princess style way. As she turns,
Bridal style.
yeah, bridal style, not bridal style, but more like kidnapped princess sort of thing. Bridal style would mean that
Oh, like
she's,
over the shoulder.
yes. More like bridal style would mean like she's cradling you.
If you hold me so that I can see where we're heading, I could at least lead us to the castle better.
She lets out a grunt of agreement, and she basically just kind of pulls you back into her arms and holds you close to her chest. She, at this point, you can tell there are markings all over her body, whether they are from just natural animal markings or from whatever happened from her past. You were unable to tell, but she seems to have a look of her that you've never seen other than today with Celine. Something like determination and fear, as well as courage. You've never seen that in this woman before, but she seems bound and determined to do the right thing. As
Alrighty. Then as like she starts taking me, I'll be leading her towards the right area.
as you are barking out orders, you begin to feel things being thrown at you. When you look at them, they seem to be the the ooze, the fleshy like substance that you've come to realize might be a infection. Whatever's happening, whatever's doing this, it seems to be targeting the two of you. Um, make me a perception check while you are continuing to be pelted.
Protect us from it.
Hmm. Not only that, but like notice where it's coming from.
15.
So, as you are trying to smack away the pelting flesh substances, if not away from you, from at the very best Irato, you've come to realize that it's the infected, not the ones that are turned into monsters, but rather the ones that are half infected, half dying, or soon to be dead. They seem to be throwing these things at you, yelling, but you can't make out any of the words as it's a jumble of blood and gargling mess. Irato, because of your efforts, doesn't seem very hurt by this, but you, at the very least, you think you might not make it.
Then as we're nearing the gates, I'll just like start yelling at whoever guards to start closing the gates. And I guess I'll just hop myself off Marato and push her in right before the gates close.
So, as you near the end of the Red District, you begin to holler and scream for attention, and the guards, the people you've come to realize that are not actually guards, they're actually more of castle protectors, people who work with you and have designated themselves as the authoritarian people of the region. They begin to come near you, and as they see that you and Urato are in the Red District, their eyes widen in fear and they draw their blades closer to you, pushing you both backwards.
Let this one in. She is immune, and she has more knowledge than I do.
She is
She
infected.
can help. No, she is not.
Do you have any proof?
Any buffoon with two eyes can see.
I see you
Look
are
at me
indeed
and then look at
infected.
her. I am obviously infected. She is in way better health than I am. If you don't believe me, bring her in and quarantine her.
And risk her
Better than
infecting
leaving
us?
someone to die. You can very much so ask the mistress. Tell her that Sune vouches.
The guards look between one another, almost doubting their guess. But before they can even think to say something else, in the back you hear the sire, your mistress's husband, begin to chuckle. And he wavers at the guards. You do not see his face. You do not know this man himself. You've never seen him in your life. But you've only heard what things you've heard your mistress say. And from what you understand, she is not happy about their relationship. But she does whatever she needs to please the man. She cannot stop the man, but she can do things to persuade him. You hear him say, and to your son's shock, kill them both. The guards draw their weapons, seeming fearful at the very least. Arato back, backs away, almost in a defensive manner, her tail fluffed out, and holding you close. She looks to you, unable to know what to do.
Barato, run. Leave me here and run. I'll just be slowing you down. Find my father and get out of here.
Irato shakes her head. No, 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 no.
That
No, no,
is
no.
my final teaching to you.
No, no, no. And she just begins
Arato, if you die here, your people themselves will not be able to get the help that you can offer them. The people you want to protect will not be able to get that help. I know you don't want to leave me behind, but you have to.
No, 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 no. Sune is my people. Sune is my people. She shakes her head vigorously.
And you are my people.
I'm not leaving.
If you don't, then what about your other people? What about everyone else you came to me that day and wanting to protect?
She looks down at you, her eyes confused, scared. She doesn't want to
I
let
promise
go.
you, after you leave, I will come back. I'll come back and I'll find you. I just need to convince them. Just for now, put me down and I'll meet you. I'll meet you outside the city, okay?
Promise.
I promise.
She clenches her mouth. Her ears fold back, and tears almost well up. Whether she believes you or not, it's hard to tell in her panic state. She gently lays you down, as much as she can in her rushed state of being pulled to the back with swords drawn at her. She lays you down as gently as she can and takes off. When the guards yell at her, but they don't seem to care much about her as she is going into the red district. You, on the other hand,
Is the Lord still visible?
he is, however, he is far away from the red district in the line that separates them, the red district,
Is he
and
within 320 feet?
he is.
I want to take a pot shot at him, knowing I'm not going to survive this shit. I just want to take a shot at him, aiming for his throat.
What are you casting?
I'm using a crossbow that I have.
Oh shit. What are you using for the ammo, if you don't mind me asking? Because at this point
I
your
think
skin,
I would have a bolt on me.
I was gonna say you can also just infect him.
I'm gonna no, because then I could risk the mistress.
Hmm.
At the very least, I want to, if not kill him, then I want to send a message that's basically just like "fuck you" as I die.
Yeah, you can go right ahead. You would have disadvantage because he is taller than the mistress. He is 8 foot. He is large, and although he is not as chubby and plump as her, he is rather, he's just a big fellow.
So you said disadvantage, right?
Because you are currently dying.
That's a nat one.
Oh shit. So you begin to load up your crossbow. You aim it towards the man, but before you can let it go, a infectee, or what remains of an infected, bite your hand off. You scream, you shout, you can't do much to shake it off as it begins to tear into your flesh. It's what remains of its teeth, at least, biting through your flesh, seeping into your bones, but not enough to completely crush it, but enough to leave you wishing you were gone. The guards look at you, almost pitiful at this point, and they do the merciful act of ending your life.
I want to spit it at one of the guards' faces before they kill me.
Yeah, you spin the direction of the guy, and he just kind of like looks at you, and he's like,
No, the guards, the one
"Yeah,
who
yeah."
is trying, one of the ones who are trying to stab me.
So you
I
spit,
want to spit in his face, hopefully getting in his eyes or mouth.
so you spit in his eyes, and he goes, "Oh God!" And like you hear under his breath, he's like, "Oh God!" And he does the act in finishing you off. So you are dead, but from what I can tell you,
Skyrim death scream.
just black out, and then all of a sudden, oh, you're awake.
Yeah.
No, what you hear when you are dead, you don't hear anything. Your soul wanders around somewhere that you find beautiful. What is a place that seems familiar, but very far away to achieve for her?
I'll say probably her original childhood home. Sune would be there with her mother, her adoptive father, Arato and some of her friends from the palace, or at least trying to be with them.
Mm-hmm. So, uh, Sunine, uh, tries
Sune,
Sune. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Sune
all good.
is able to have a sort of peace of mind in the afterlife. She is able to have the image of her home, her childhood home. But the people she comes up to think about, to love, to have their around her and support her, they're not, if they are not gone, they aren't there. They seem to,
Well, her mother would be.
her mother's there, but she seems rather distant, only coming to her every so often. She cannot relate to Sunin at all in the morning of her death, nor anything of what happened before then. You wait, you cope, you realize that you were gone. It feels like minutes have passed. You are able to see some new people, some familiar people, but you never see Urato or your father. You passionately wait for them, hoping to keep that promise you made to Irato and your father, without, of course, without him telling you. And you don't know how long it's been at this point. You silently wait, and you begin to hear somebody that you're not familiar with. Do you try to listen in?
Yeah, I'll try to listen.
So I heard I heard your cries. Is there something you desire?
To get back at those who decided to wrong me,
Mm.
and to see those that I promised to see again.
Ah, so you wish to get revenge for what happened to you, huh? I can make that happen.
I tried to save. No, I thought you were. I thought she was asking what happened to me.
She seems to have, but she's also seems a bit impatient.
Okay,
Almost like she wants to hear it, but she also just doesn't care.
guy.
Um so as Suni begins to speak.
Sune.
Sune, I'm botching this name up so bad. Sune begins to tell her story and is immediately cut off. Um, she begins to see a spectral document, something that seems unfamiliar to her. It sparkles within 1,000 stars, and its writing is beautiful but unclear to read. A spectral pen hand like wavers in the air, something that seems strange to you, but very normal to it, whatever it is. As it is a
Before I even sign
go ahead.
this, what are you trying to get me to sign?
A deal.
I feel like there's a delay going on that we speak,
Yeah, there might
that
be.
like we end up speaking over each other unintentionally.
There might be. I'm not even gonna lie, there might be.
Because I feel like I keep accidentally speaking over you a lot without meaning to.
Same here, but I we could probably fix that later.
Yeah, I think it's just maybe because of the storms and whatnot.
Probably. But the voice calls out again. and it says in a very monotone, calm voice, it says, I am allowing to help you achieve your goal for a price.
That price being,
Help me achieve my goal.
which is, and like Sune would like kind of do like hold out her hand, like do the little like tell me more gesture, you know, like where like you see someone like moving their hand like the rotating position,
Yes.
like go on.
The voice is quiet before answering, and it says in almost a more monotone voice, is it really worth it? I can make, I can try to make. No, I will make. I will make your desires come true. All I ask is for you to get something for me. To help me achieve my goal, I need things from this time.
Well, the offer is tantalizing. I'd rather know that our goals will be properly aligned rather than getting backstabbed later.
I can assure you now, soul, I do not intend to backstab. It is against my nature.
And what exactly is your nature?
Something you mortals have come to fear.
Trust me, there's not much I fear nowadays.
If you were to sign it, I can promise you and assure you, not only will you be able to see me, but you will also be resurrected and have a second chance at life, and you will get your agreement, your part of what happens. I am willing to do more than what is listed here, but it is your choice.
I have one last question. Well, probably two. Are you able to see all the souls that have passed through here? That are still waiting.
I'm only able to see those who answer my call.
So you wouldn't know if Arato or my father are alive, would you?
There are many names underneath those categories, but I have not heard of any within those that have answered my call.
With that, she will take like another minute or two and then she'll finally sign the paper.
The moment your hand releases from the paper, finally signing your part of a document you cannot read, the paper shimmers and shines and almost envelops into your soul, your very essence, as you begin to feel something you haven't felt in what feels like years. The area around you begins to fade as a bright, shimmering light seems to envelop your eyes, envelop what you see, making it almost completely blind. You cannot make out your mother as she waves at you. You cannot make out your siblings, your friends, your anybody you've ever met who are watching you disappear from their realm into the living realm. Now, as you open your eyes, you feel disgusting. You feel wretched. You feel like vomiting, but you can't. You can't move. You don't know how to. How long it's been. Can you breathe? You desperately claw for air, for your lungs to cooperate with you. And after maybe what seems like so many minutes, you are able to let out a raspy gasp of air as you are breathing heavy, trying to relearn how to breathe. As you do so, you begin to hear clanking, and although you can't move anything, you begin to see something move out of the corner of your eye. Is that one inhabited, Mimi? You hear scuttling and then clanking as if something is jumping. And from your vision, you see what can only be described as a dark purple looking creature, almost similar to what you experienced before death. You begin to squirm. Well, you hope you were squirming. You don't know how to move. Breathing just seems like a chore at this point, and you don't know how long you can last before you eventually just give out due to being tired. Hunger crawls at you. It hurts so much. You don't know what's going on. All you can do is watch from your dry eyes as these creatures approach. It's only one, and something follows it. It looks like a bear? You're not sure what it is exactly, but it seems to be talking in common. The creature itself seems to look like a trinket box like your mistress used to own, except there's a large, bright pink bow attached to the top of it. It stares at you, making direct contact with you as it crawls closer. Each time it walks, it jumps, another appendage rips out of it, almost mimicking legs? Maybe? You're not sure what, but it's definitely not human. It looks at you, eyes blinking. It only has one, but you can feel like there's more. And even though it should be impossible, you understand what it's saying. And it says in a very almost cheerful tone, almost childlike. It speaks up and it says, "Oh, Mimi sees this one. Mimi sees this one. This one's okay. Mimi, hi, I'm Mimi." And it seems almost happy to see you. You're not sure why you understand it, nor why it seems excited to see you awake. But the bear comes slowly walking towards you on all fours. "That's very good, Mimi. Good job." And it gently puts a paw on what you can only assume is Mimi's little bow. And the bear, it saunters over to be in look, direct line sight of you, eyesight of you, and it lowers its head. Its body shimmers, almost its body shimmers, almost reflecting that of celestials images of the night sky back when you were alive. Blues, pinks, greens, reds. It's beautiful to look at if it wasn't on the body and fur of a bear. And its eyes are bright, bright gray as it stares down at you and tilts its head. Well. This is interesting. Surprised that you picked this body of all of them. Well, I made my deal. No. It seems like me and Mimi have some work to rehabilitate you. You've been gone for so long. It might as well be the very least we can do. Right, Mimi? And you can see the little trinket box nod what you can only assume is its head in excitement. "Oh, yes. Mimi is the greatest at rehabilitation. Ask the others. Mimi helped the others too. Mimi knows the greatest. Mimi is the greatest. The bear doesn't seem to respond much, just nodding its head very slowly. And then it bends down and gently places a clawed hand underneath yours. You would almost assume that this is
Mm.
a bear folk if it wasn't more bear. And it brings your face up to hers. Or its. Or his? It's hard to tell. And it gently squeezes your face and it says, "Welcome to the new world, Sune." And that will conclude prologue. The first prologue of 5.
The touch Sune just comes. No, she
So,
hasn't felt the touch of someone else in so many years.
yep. Uh, so yeah. I'm so sorry it took so long. I said it would only take like 2 hours and it took 3 hours. I am so sorry.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna instantly head into bed after this.
Yeah. Honestly, what did you think
I
about?
normally would have been in bed in like an hour ago.
I know,
Pretty
I'm
good,
so
pretty good.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Um, this was not supposed to take so long, but this is a learning curve for me. Um,
Oh, good.
Honestly, I'm glad that it was a slow burn because it felt like your character was more alive because of it.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I guess tomorrow we'll talk about what you liked and what you disliked, but I hope you're satisfied with that.
yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I loved it.
Yep. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. All right. That was not supposed to last that long. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. That. Well, how long was that? Oh my goodness. The session was only an hour long? What? No. No. Oh well. I believe that was a good time to wrap it up. It is 12 o'clock over here. It was my fault that we started so late. I was struggling setting shit up because I don't know how to set anything up. Did it really? Uh, oh my god. I hate that so much. Well, I'm just glad that I am starting to get out the sessions. I just gotta make sure that I gotta see a lot of stuff, but I'm hoping I can archive. Yeah, sadly. Um, Yippee! I think next person on the list will be who is it? Who's next? I have a list. Where the fuck is my list? Um, I know I stuttered a lot, but I also have a stuttering issue when it comes to this shit. Da 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 da. Okay. Dub seems to be the next one. This will be interesting. Did you record this? Yes. Yes, I did.